Hey, everybody, welcome to Chapter 2 of December Secrets by Patricia Riley Giff. That was really exciting, Miss Rooney said when they were back in the classroom. Everyone's cheeks are red. Emily's hands still felt cold. She blew on them a little. It's the first day of December, Miss Rooney said. She looked at the class. Does anyone know what happens in December? Noah Green raised his hand. It's Hanukkah. Right, said Miss Rooney. She drew a candle holder on the board. It had one big candle in the middle and four smaller ones on each side. This is a special sign for Hanukkah, Miss Rooney said. It's called a menorah. Matthew raised his hand. It's Christmas time, too. Miss Rooney nodded. She drew a green wreath on the board. And this is a special sign for Christmas. Emily wished she knew something that happened in December. Beast raised his hand. One of our presidents had a birthday in December, he said. Very good, said Miss Rooney. Woodrow Wilson was born in December. He was our 28th president. She drew a flag on the blackboard. President Andrew Johnson was born in December, too. Emily looked at Richard. She wondered how he knew about the president's birthdays. Miss Rooney asked Richard, How did you know? Beast laughed. I didn't. I just took a guess. Emily tried to think of something to guess. I'll tell you something, Miss Rooney said. It's the month that someone patented chewing gum. She drew a square piece of pink chewing gum on the board. Emily put her hand up in the air. At least she could ask what patented meant. It sounded like shiny shoes. Miss Rooney smiled at Emily. Patent, she said. When you invent something, you tell the government. Then no one else can say they invented it first. Miss Rooney looked at the big clock on the wall. It's almost time for art, she said, so I'll have to tell you this quickly. She drew a line under the menorah and the wreath. This is the time for giving, she said. It's a special time for making other people happy. And that's what we'll do in the classroom. Presents? Asked Matthew. Yes, Miss Rooney said, but we'll do it in a special way. Everyone will pick one person in the classroom. He will be your secret friend. And all through December, you can do special things for that person. You can draw pictures for him. Timothy Barbiero said, You can hide candy in his desk. Nice, said Miss Rooney. Dawn put her hand up. You can pick up her book if she drops it. That's the spirit, Dawn, Miss Rooney said. Emily tried to think of something to say so that Miss Rooney would say, That's the spirit to her, too. She raised her hand. Yes, Emily. Emily couldn't think of one thing to say. I forgot, she told Miss Rooney. Think of someone to pick, Miss Rooney said. Don't tell that person, tell me. Timothy raised his hand. You mean that person will never know? He asked. I have to give him stuff and he won't even know it's me? Oh, yes, said Miss Rooney. Everyone will tell his secret friend on the last day of school before the winter vacation. She held up her hand. But it doesn't have to cost money. Do nice things for your secret person. Miss Rooney looked at the clock again. One more thing, she said. Tomorrow, bring a box. Bring a cigar box, or maybe a writing paper box. We're going to do something exciting with it. Miss Rooney smiled. Time for art now. The class lined up. Emily looked around at everyone. Beast was at the end of the line. His head was way back. His pink eraser was sitting on top of his nose. Beast was a very funny boy. She'd picked Beast for her special person. She tried to think of ways to make him happy. Beast loved to draw. Emily had an almost new box of crayons. All of the points were sharp, except for the red crayon. That's because red was her favorite. It was also because she had drawn lots of red turkeys last month. She'd give Beast the box of almost new crayons, all of them except for the red one. The class marched into the art room. Emily took her seat. Maybe Beast wouldn't see that the red crayon was missing. Guess what month this is? Asked Mrs. Kara. December! Everyone yelled. Very good, said Mrs. Kara. She passed out drawing paper. How about drawing some December things? Emily took her crayon box out of the art cubby. She pulled out a yellow crayon. She'd make a big candle holder like the one Miss Rooney had drawn. Matthew poked her in the back. Can I borrow a green crayon? He asked. She passed it back to him. Guess what? He said. I'm going to pick Beast for my secret person. Emily frowned. He's my best friend, Matthew said. He invited me to his Thanksgiving sleepover last week. It was the best party in the world. Oh, Emily said. She drew 9 sticks for candles. She put big orange flames on them. She tried to think of someone else to pick for that special person. Dawn Bosco leaned over. She looked at Emily's picture. That's very nice, Emily, she said. Emily smiled at her. Maybe she should pick Dawn. Emily looked at Dawn's picture. Dawn had drawn a picture of a girl. She had a great big pink chewing gum bubble coming out of her mouth. I like your picture too, Emily said. Dawn smiled. She drew a pink sweatsuit on the girl. She put blue polka dots on the sweatsuit. Hey, that's me, Emily said. Dawn picked up a green crayon. She drew a little green mark on the girl's pink sweatsuit. She drew it right on the knee. How come you didn't let me get ahead of you in line? She asked. Emily looked at the green mark. She didn't answer. Mrs. Karras clapped her hands. Hold up your drawings, she told the class. She looked around. Just lovely. Emily ducked her head. She hoped Mrs. Kara didn't know that Dawn's picture was supposed to be Emily. Emily certainly wouldn't pick Dawn for her secret person. She'd have to pick someone else.